I'm trying to figure out how to put this in words. First, I need to get something out of the way because this hurts me really bad. Somebody said something to me recently, and here I thought that, like, here I thought that, like, they were the one that wasn't listening and hearing me. I get it. I get what they meant, and they were right. They were right. And that's the last time I'm going to say that. Okay, so one way that I've been learning a lot, like I have said this before in my videos, I go back, like I stopped pretending like I knew anything about these deities, people, things. And some things have happened recently that have, like, raised my awareness. I've said this. And my gifts are exponentially strong, like especially my knowing and my feels. I can feel energy very strongly. I know whenever there's other energies around that's not mine and my son's, or, you know what I mean? Like, but it's gotten more than that. It's a lot more. And I noticed when I would be calling on these certain deities, like the energies that came in were just like so similar that, like, it's been hard for me to break it apart. Like, to see, I'm like, so how do I figure out which one? And then as I've, like, learned about each of these, like going into their mythology and going into their stories, as I'm learning about these mythologies, that's how I'm uncovering these secrets in my family. I made that connection a few weeks ago, and I've been digging more, and, like, my fear is gone, right? And so I'm like, hey, all right, I want to know. I want to know for sure. I want to know. My gifts are so strong now. I'm sick of people telling me that there's this devil person. I'm sick of people telling me there's this, like, I want to know. I want to know. And I'm a rebel. So I had to find out for myself. And whenever I called on Lucifer, or anytime I felt him in my energy, it was calm, grounded, strong, intense, but so comforting. And that I didn't understand, right? You know, because, and this is what makes me feel like I've always felt like there was something wrong with me, is because knowing what I know now and in the position I am now, I know that it's because this energy has been with me since I was born, because of my destiny. They're my protector. Nobody realized that. And so it's all a lie. Everything that we've been taught in church, it's all a lie. And what's more messed up is, the more I learn about this, my preacher man husband told me a lot of the truth. He didn't think I was paying attention. Like, when he would start singing this random Istanbul, Constantinople song, and when he was telling me about the story of whenever he was in seminary school, he was the first person who told me that I was a sensitive. It's more than that. I'm like, it's a lot more than that. I'm a lot more than that. But as I've learned, since I broke through that ice, I started calling on Hermes because I wanted to learn more from him. And I was like, man, like, I feel the difference in the Hermes and Hecate. Like, I can feel the difference, but it's still so much alike. And then when you look at their mythology and like their iconography and the things that represent them, their symbols, things like that, there's so much alike. Well, today I am sitting down because I was just frustrated, okay, with something. And I was like, okay, enough's enough. And you know how we always have this intention and things that we are manifesting, they never come like we would or are expecting, and this is why we shouldn't have expectations or whatever. But here I am, like 1, 2, 3, 4 deep, 4 pages deep, front and back. And I'm like, I've wrote this stuff before, but it was stuff about somebody else. So I went and I'm looking. And then on a hunch, which now I know they're never hunches, my mind is blown. My mind is blown, and now I get why I've been so frustrated. Why I have been so for justice. Now I understand why. I don't know what that looks like for me going forward. I still don't know, like, exactly my mission. But right now my mission is to just keep following their guidance and stop trying to figure it all out and make it all make sense all at once. And just let my intuition guide me. My mind's blown. Okay, I gotta go back to research now. Lately, my meditation sessions have been leading me to like want a cigarette, almost like I just had sex or something. It's been just as mind blowing. Like my level of awareness keeps like raising and raising, and I'm just like, fuck. How did I not see that before? Fuck, how did I not see that before? Fuck, how did I not see that before? Like, I don't even know how to talk about all of this. I don't even know how to present it in a way that people can actually, like, figure from me. Just like everything else has. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm powerful. And I have some gifts. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Like, I'm just now seeing it for the first time.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Alright, coffee time, epiphanies. Well, actually, last night was when the epiphany came, but... So, it is so funny how my spirit team works and talks to me. Like, it's always been using the algorithm, like I've always said, but lately it's just been different. Like, every website I go to, every reel I see is something that has been leading me to even bigger awareness levels. Like, I'm on this trajectory that, like, holy shit, it truly feels like I'm flying in the sky. But also I have my feet firmly on the ground. Like, I just don't know how to explain it. It's a peace and a freedom I've never felt in my life. I think I finally broke free from all of my conditioning and all of the fear and shit that was passed down to me from, like, my parents and the people around me and how they were raised. And, like, one thing in reading my tree, it's just like all I see is all the women that have been killed, hurt, abused. And then they sweep it under the rug and act like nothing ever happened. And I've been talking to a few people about this part of my story in private, to some new people that I meet. The couple people that I have mentioned this to, the first thing that they say is, I thought that was just in my culture, where we just sweep it under the rug and act like nothing happened. And so, like, that was one of the big moments that was like, we really are all the same. They just try to act like we aren't, to keep us separate so that we all don't find out the truth. But I found it out anyways, because I was always going to. Like, you cannot stop destiny. And when you try to interfere with somebody else's human experience in any way that isn't beneficial, the chaos and shit that follows is just not worth it, y'all. It's just not worth it. And if we don't stop sweeping stuff under the rug and pretending that it doesn't happen, that's why the world is the way it is today, because everybody's projecting. They've got these secrets that they've been carrying since childhood, that they're either ashamed of, embarrassed of, or told if they ever said anything, something bad would happen to them. I'm remembering all of my childhood now. The people that worked really hard to get me to not remember it, I guess they didn't realize who I was going to be, really. They're too far away from their soul. And that's what, like, leads to these linear minds. In my research, I have, like, really let loose of any terminology that keeps me bonded. I don't put myself in a box. I don't claim any certain title anymore, because I am a lot of things. But what I'm not is a Christian. I will never claim that title again. Not after what I know now. There's been so much bloodshed built on that foundation. That's what that foundation was built on. Bloodshed, lies, manipulation. Same thing as this country. Why do you think it's going to hell? And I know who it goes back to, and I know I have every right to say this stuff because it's my family, it's my blood. They didn't want me to know that. That's why I didn't find out who my real grandfather was until I was 33 years old and did a DNA test. And I know that I've got family on here that's going to see this, and I don't care anymore. This is my story, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed that y'all hid this shit from me for so long. So your opinion does not matter anymore. Making you happy and doing things, only caring about whether or not somebody's going to see it and get mad, those days are over. This is why I was born. And so, like, if y'all don't want to see the truth in your own family, that's fine. I'm going to speak about the truth in mine. But what I'm also hoping the most that it's going to do is give people permission to start speaking too. Give you all the permission to stand up and say, wait a minute, that shit's been done to me too. Wait a minute, because there's a lot of us. There's been so many child abuse, so many sexual assaults, so many child sexual assaults that have been pushed under the rug because of power. Because in spiritual world, a woman holds the power in the womb. So if you do these things, you basically siphon their gifts. And this is what they're taught. This is why they went, like, if you look at ancient Egypt, they used to all do orgies. When they couldn't figure out what they wanted to do or didn't know what the answer was, they called in all the oracles and all the, well, I don't know what they called them back then. That's Greek. But you get what I'm saying. Like, they called in the high priestesses, the ones that are like me, the powerful ones. And they would have orgies and be leeches and parasites and suck you dry so that they could steal your power. Why do you think that you hear women say all the time, we're calling back our power? Like, this is it. Our power is in our womb. Why do you think when women have been sexually assaulted or abused or violated in some way, shape, or form, we hold it in our sacral, in our root, in our solar plexus? Why do you think it causes us depression? It's our soul, like, that is where our spiritual heart is. That's where our power lies. And if we do not keep that portal sacred, meaning people that do not have good intentions should not have access to it. Because now, who I am, if somebody has ill intentions and I sleep with them, that's how I know, because I get sick. Very sick. I mean, I lost the baby. In November, my bad. I ended up with a double kidney infection with 105 temperature. And so, like, now I know it's because both of them were married. They didn't have good intentions because they didn't tell me. They weren't honest. And I got sick. Like, people don't realize how much their lies and shit affect other people, whether they want it to or not. It's not just projection. Everything is spiritual. Everything. And when everybody learns to see that and learn what symbology means, like, that's what I look at. Everything is symbolic. Everything. Because it is. And when you start seeing that and connecting the dots, it truly helped me to come to this place. I truly can see why everything happened. It doesn't mean it's okay, but I get it. And a part of the reason why I've always went numb or like had the craving to do drugs is because I wanted to numb. Because my brain was always wanting to find the why. It's just my DNA makeup. Why? Why? And everybody would always say, Casey, you're going to drive yourself nuts trying to figure out that question. But I don't feel like that's true. I feel like that's just another limiting belief we're told that keeps us stuck. Because I found the why. I just had to take the time to look for it. I had to take the time to learn myself. Okay, so me figuring out what causes me to do the things that I do has helped me to see the reasons why people do the things that they do. Because when I speak these things, I've learned this firsthand. And so, like, I never want anybody to think that I'm saying any of this stuff like as a, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you're not good, you're do blah blah blah. Hold on, buddy. It's not, because I would never have said anything like that to myself. And I've been in these situations and I've had these same mindsets, and that's why I'm speaking on them, because I'm telling you all my mistakes and that you all don't end up making the same ones. Like, that's my hope.
Cupcake.
My kid wants a cupcake.
Cupcake.
The kid's, mwah.
Cupcake.
You're my little cupcake.
No, I know.
You're my little cupcake. You're my little cupcake.